Hey everybody, the following is an excerpt from the monthly Rahdo Roundup, and if you'd like to see the rest of the roundup, you can hit that eye up in the top right corner of the screen, or if you'd like to know more about the game, you can follow the link down in the show notes. And with that out of the way, let's talk about
Thorgal. Now, I do not have a run through. I am using a run through from a Polish channel, I believe. What is the name of this channel? It is it's something in Polish. Planzalik Online TV. Planzalik Online TV. I'm sure that's entirely wrong. Again, there's a link for this down in the show notes if you would like to go see this game in action. I just thought their run through did a really good job of, even if it's in Polish, I believe it's Polish, showing off the components of the game, the art of the game, and all of that. It's just a nice open view. It was the best looking video I could find to show what this game looks like in action. But how does it play in action, and why did it come in at number 10? Well, this is the latest from publisher Portal Games, and it is a cooperative game set in a very, very popular Viking comic series, which I've never read before, but apparently it's been around for a long time. I forget, it either comes with 5 or 6 unique missions you can play. Kind of like Imagine Pandemic had 6 different missions you could choose from. This is not a what do you call it, a campaign game where you go from chapter to chapter to chapter and level up your characters. Or it's like Legends of Andor. You just pick any chapter you want to play it. There's going to be random setup every time you play, so there's going to be replayability. But what is it? Well, you and your teammates are working cooperatively to solve some type of problem. Like in this particular one, our airship has crashed in a strange land. We have to repair it while dealing with the political turmoil between 2 warring states and the rebellion. And you have to pick one side. Are you going to support the rebellion or the first king or the second king? Or though they were sister queens, as I recall correctly, as you travel around the board and collect the resources you need to repair your flying ship and get the heck out of Dodge. So, and all the missions have, I guess these are based on famous stories from the comic book. They're very evocative. You play on a big storybook where the map is different every time, and you travel around, you interact with different areas, you find out what you have to do, and you deal with problems along the way. And now, so we've seen this in a lot of games, but what really makes this game stand out is how you do all these actions. There are 2 very big fundamental game changers. You have never played a cooperative adventure game, board game like this ever before. Because the first thing is the way you pick actions. Right, I'm just going to pause for a second because they keep cutting back and forth to zoom ins on the player. Every time you play, you've got a collection of cards that represent the different actions you can do, and they're laid out in a specific way from left to right. And on your turn, you're going to take one of these action tokens and put it on one of those actions to indicate what you're going to do, whether it's move around, whether it's collect resources, whether it's interact with the environment, whether it's explore the environment. There's several different things you can do. It's a different combination of things, and the layout of these cards matter because what most of these actions, as say if I choose this action, right over here, I think that's the one that lets me harvest stuff from the area. I'll be able, every area I've been, this area lets me get lumber, this area lets me get rumors or whatever it might be. And it changes from mission to mission, the types of things you're harvesting, what you use them for. But say I'm going to harvest, right? Now here's the thing. If I harvest, I just get to do a little level 1 harvest. I don't get much stuff. But if I wait until one of my teammates activates one of the other actions to the left, like the explore action or the interact action or something like that, every action to the right want to harvest until somebody else explores, because then that'll make this harvest a double action or a triple action or a quadruple action. So the puzzle of this game, deciding what order actions are going to be done and who's going to do them, because different players have different strengths, is so fascinating. It's really a very interesting puzzle to work out. I need to do this action now, but it's going to be really weak. Can I do something else while I'm waiting? Or heck, maybe if you can get over here, you could harvest the rumors we need to make it over to the pub to solve the problem and spread the information or whatever. I love this action selection mechanism. One of the coolest things I've ever seen in cooperative adventure board games, quite frankly. This is not the regular Pandemic, it's your turn, spend 4 action points, however you want. This game, it's so much more engaging. But that's just half of it. The second half, well, it's shown right here on screen. When you deal with a problem, usually fighting or other things as well, but usually fighting, you draw a card that represents the struggle you've got. You roll the dice, and those dice, depending on how leveled up, you can roll better and better dice. They give you different polyomino tiles. And so in this case, they're going to get a red 5-piecer and a blue, it's either a 1-piecer, or if they can get a critical hit, a 3-piecer. You take these pieces, which I assume the player is going to do. Oh, they're re-rolling because they're trying to get a better one. Now they've got a 5 and a 2. Now they've got to tile lay those on the fight card. You need to cover up all the enemy hit points without covering up the things that will hurt you. And if you can cover it up correctly, you can also give yourself bonuses like extra experience points so you can level up and whatnot. So every time you fight, it's a cool little mini tile laying puzzle. And of course, you can get all kinds of powers that let you change the pieces you get and all of that. And it's a lot of fun. Now, if you take damage in a fight, you end up having to collect those polyomino tile layers and cover up your own little area of the board. The more damage you take, the harder it is to puzzle those. It's like turning a jigsaw puzzle, like 3 different jigsaw puzzles simultaneously into a cooperative adventure game. It's so cool. And if that's not all, like I said, one of the actions you can do is you can explore the area you're in, and that means taking polyomino pieces and spreading them out on this series. Let's go on ahead and zip a little bit further in the game. You'll see the explorer, as they explore more. Come on. Oh, I went too far. The game is over. As they explored more, you can see they can explore further and further and further to the right, covering up actions, again, with polyomino tiles, to get all kinds of benefits and try to avoid danger. So that's it. There are at any given time, there's the polyomino tile laying puzzle of your own board when you take damage, the polyomino tile laying communal puzzle as we both try to explore our way through this series of cards, and the polyomino tile laying puzzle that you'll deal with every once in a while when you get into a fight. So that is 3 jigsaw polyomino puzzle games you're playing while also playing one of the coolest action selection games I've ever seen. So there's a lot of really cool elements in this game. And I liked it quite a bit. So, why then did it come in at number 10 of the month? Well, as much as I love all these mechanisms, my least favorite thing about the game was the actual adventures themselves, which feature a fair amount of, traveling from one place to another, getting a thing, taking it back, dealing with fights along the way. And, this stuff was fine. There was nothing wrong with it. But it was literally, all the mechanisms to do the adventure were amazing. The adventures themselves were okay. It's hard for me not to draw comparisons between this and Legends of Andor. And the main thing about Legends of Andor, it has a lot of, hey, run around and fight things and roll dice and get stuff and take it where you need to go. But it happens very quickly. You can travel very far, very fast. And there's lots of really tough puzzles of which monsters to fight and whatnot. This game, the adventure portion, the traveling around the world, I loved everything about this game, except I only just thought the adventure part was okay. Now, I think other people would love this kind of stuff. If you like pick up and deliver adventure styles with fighting done in a way that you've never seen before, you're probably going to love Thorgal a lot more than we did. We loved the mechanisms. We liked the adventure. And so that combination came in a little bit lower. But honestly, I would love to try this again with something to just speed up the adventure element, quite frankly, and be a little bit less pick up and deliver, a little bit more focusing on the really cool mechanisms of the game. But folks, there are some playthroughs. One Stop Co-op Shop did a great playthrough as well. So you can, I think it might be this adventure again. This is, I think, the 3rd adventure. I should have been showing the one co-op. The problem is the One Stop Co-op Shop video never showed the whole board. They spend the entire time zoomed in. So I figured I wanted to show this so I could show you what the game looks like set up more broadly. But anyway, maybe I'll put a link for the One Stop Co-op Shop run through down in the show notes as well, so you can see it in English or in Polish. I think a lot of people are really going to dig this game. Jen and me, we're just very persnickety, very picky about the adventures we play, and that's why Thorgal comes in at number 10. But again, these mechanisms are so freaking brilliant. Okay.
And thanks for watching, folks. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe. It makes a huge difference, believe me. But with that out of the way, if you'd like to see some more, over on the left, you can find a playlist of a whole bunch more Rahdo Rapid reviews. Up in the top right, there's the latest thing that's been added to the channel. And in the bottom right, you've got something YouTube recommends. Okay, folks, thanks for watching.